Hey guys, and welcome to Face the Fiction. My name is Melissa, and today we're going to be reviewing a book that I was super excited about reading this month. And that book happens to be Suit by Bb Easton. Now I know you guys have heard about Bb Easton before because I've talked about her on this channel. But Bb Easton writes really heart-clenching books about loosely based on her life. And if you were kind of like a misfit girl back in high school, I think that she'll really speak to you as far as like her love life and her stories. I know that when I read the books, I was like, I could totally see falling for some of these guys. Like, they were definitely my type. And Bb could have easily been one of my best friends back in high school. So basically at this point, Bb has been through 3 of her, I guess, big loves really in her life. And she realizes that she is starting to have feelings for her study buddy, whose name is Ken. And Ken is completely not her style. Ken is very straight-laced, no tattoos, very quiet. You know, the complete opposite of what she has been and has had. Kind of boring, but in the best way possible. Like, he's like that safe option when you finally realize how stupid you've been throughout your life and the stupid men that you've dated, and you get to that point where this halo comes over the chosen guy. And that's basically what has happened with her and Ken. So Bb, of course, is still dealing with Knight, who constantly gets drunk and stands out her window and sends her really nasty voicemail messages. She has not seen the guy in the second book, whose name I cannot remember. I remember he went to jail, so I'm assuming that he's probably still in jail. And she does end up running into Hans during this book, which there's a pretty huge event that happens that kind of brings them into the same room. So, you know, obviously Bb is starting this thing with Ken, and Ken is, I don't want to say emotionally unavailable, but he kind of is. Like, he is not what she's used to. She is very affectionate, and Ken is very not. So it causes a whole lot of conflict between the two. And I know personally, as a person that's very emotional, that was a very hard lesson for me to learn, because the men that I seem to date were very logical, and so they didn't understand where I was coming from a lot of times, and things that I would say and things that I would do. So there is a struggle there, and there's a struggle for her to even find out if Ken likes her, and then there's a struggle once they're together in regards to how he's feeling. You know, he makes mention that he doesn't want marriage, like he doesn't believe in marriage, and he doesn't want kids. And it like changes her whole perspective on things, because she's like, you know, what am I doing? I'm wasting time. Like, this is what I want. This is my end game, which I think a lot of women don't realize when they're going into a relationship. And that's how you can tell almost that you've matured as a woman in regards to relationships, because you start to realize what you want and what are deal breakers. So there are very many moments in this book where your heart hurts because you feel the love that Bb has for Ken, and you feel the hurt that she has when he doesn't respond the way that she feels he needs to, or what would normally be a normal person's response. Like, It's very hot and cold. I guess that's the best way that I can put it. Like, he's just different. And some people do not understand that. Some people don't like to be touched, and people don't understand that. Some people were not shown affection as kids. I can tell you from my own personal experience, I had a family that did not hug or, you know, say I love you all the time. So that's kind of like a weird thing to me when I'm around people that do that. And I know personally, I am not the type that will reach out and hug someone just for any reason. I mean, there's got to be, I had to almost train myself when it came to, you know, my husband and the kids. But I'm still very like hands off when other people are trying to touch me. I'm like, no, that's not how I show affection. So there's a pretty big event that happens within the storyline. And again, it's another realization for BB, because the person that involves, she realizes, loved her and wanted to be with her, and here she was stuck on Ken, who is giving her these crazy vibes, and you know, she's almost having to fight to be with him. Like, that's how she feels. And she ends up running into Hans at the funeral because it's a mutual friend. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. I couldn't remember who that person was because it's been so long since I've read Star. But I would assume that he was in Star. So she ends up almost getting closure a little bit with that. Because as years pass and you look back on the people that you dated and you realize, what the hell was I thinking? Like, you see all the things that you didn't see before. And it's another one of those moments in times where you have to be like, wait a second, like, what was I thinking? Like, I just don't get it. So eventually things get on track, and obviously it takes a whole lot of work. And towards the end of the novel, a pretty big event happens that literally broke my heart. And it gives another piece of closure to someone that was very important in BB's life. And I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm sure if you've read the books, you know, like, who I'm basically insinuating it is. And the epilogue, I really enjoyed. Like, I thought it was so cute. I really liked the whole family aspect of things. The happily ever after, if you will, of the relationship. It was, I don't know, to me, as a person that married someone that I love dearly, it was satisfying to see that, to see those moments that make up your life with them. And one of the big moments is having kids. You know, obviously in my experience, the kids were already there, but it's still moments with him and the kids that, like, it means a lot to me. Like, it means the world. So I really liked how things wrapped up. I'm very sad to see the series end. It's kind of interesting because I know BB lives in Atlanta and I live in Alabama. So it's exciting to know that anytime that I go to Atlanta, that there might be a chance, a small itty bitty chance, that I could see her and be like, and fangirl all over the place and be like, oh my God, I love your novels. Like, you just don't understand. You are one of my favorite writers. And I'm excited to see maybe what she's going to delve into after this, because obviously this series was loosely based on her life. So I'm curious to know if she's going to continue to do books or if she's gonna stop for a little while and like rest. You know, I'm excited to see what's gonna come next for her. And I definitely hope that she continues writing. I hope that she continues with her misfit women and the men, the broody, strange, somewhat sociopath. If you haven't given this series a chance, please do. I know in a previous review I told you guys Skin was free for a long period of time there. Skin is hands down my favorite. It's just, oh, Skin reminds me of my first love and how toxic it was and how much of a different person I was back then. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I just feel like these are really good books for any woman to read. Anyone that has been through several relationships that have really changed them. People that are not necessarily the person that they were 5 years ago. I mean, I certainly wasn't. Let me use proper English. But yeah, if you have not read her, please pick her up. Please. Again, the series, it's 44 chapters is the novel that includes, I believe, all of them, the 4 men. But it's Skin, Speed, Star, and Suit. So, first love, rebellious love, suffocating love maybe. I feel like he was a little suffocating and selfish, and then true love. So yeah, that is my review. Again, so sad to see this series end, but again, I know I can reread the novels, and I know that she might be planning something, so I look forward to anything that she's going to put her hands on in the future. And I just feel like she is the type of author that I've read, and I feel like we're old friends. I feel like I've been kind of that bystander. I feel like Juliet. I feel like I've been there this whole time, like rooting her on and like telling her, no, you need to drop him. So yeah, BB Easton, Suit. That's the 4th novel in the series. So again, start with Skin and then go from there. Obviously you don't have to read them in order, but I think it's important to read them in order. So until next chapter, guys, bye. So I kind of wanted to take this time to state that I didn't realize that next month is November, and my first love is actually writing. I've taken some time off of it because I just feel like my creative juices weren't going anywhere. I don't know, like I'm dealing with some stuff, but the whole reason why I brought that up was next month is November, which is NaNoWriMo, which means I will be trying to write, which means I probably won't be doing a whole lot of book reviews next month. If anything, I might be doing some vlogs in regards to NaNoWriMo. So obviously if you are signed up for that, please let me know in the comments what your username is, and we can kind of hook up and be like buddies on there. But I will try to fit some book reviews in because I always read. I mean, I might be more concentrated on writing, but there will always be a book that I'm reading casually. It just might be like one book versus 4. So just to kind of give you the heads up, next month will probably be more makeup and vlogs and other random crap that I can film for you guys. So try not to be mad at me. But in the meantime, if you do see a book that you think that I might enjoy, please let me know down in the comments.